So, last week, Kaizo, aka Lolicon Robot, went rogue. His mind trapped in a bicycle robot, as his main marketable drone cute form went off to help the villains. What is the only thing our group of 11-year-olds can do? Get completely fucking sidetracked and not accomplish anything. That's right, once again, we completely forgot about the plot. Or did we? We kinda did. We mostly did. Look, it depends on what your definition of plot is. On the one hand, we are 16 episodes in and barely know more than what we did in, episode 1. But if you're like me and you're starting to notice that this show focuses more on character, then this actually did kind of progress things. We'll get into it. We'll get there. So, first and foremost, the crew get to the AI restaurant from a few episodes ago, which I thought that whole thing was just going to be abandoned. It was just going to be this 1 minute joke of, oh, there's an AI restaurant. Never going to bring that up again because Yu-Gi-Oh! And a lot of other franchises will do that. They'll bring up something like that once and then never again. But here was no, we went back to it. It became the plot of an episode, and you didn't expect that, but it's a nice piece of world building. All these things exist in this world, so why not interact with them? Why not take advantage of them? Why not do stuff with us and get a fun little 1 minute thing, where everyone's just in the restaurant booth, and, it can be whatever, setting or background you want. That's not a particularly funny joke, nor is it really, a big drama moment, but it's just fun little world building, and I like stuff like that. So yeah, our group gets to the AI restaurant, because that was the last place Kaizo was seen. So they head up into the restaurant, where we run into a legal lolly lady so I never reviewed the episodes where she premiered, because I don't remember why. But we are here with legal lolly lady, and I'm just gonna say this right now, she's fucking hilarious. Look, obviously we should have more serious characters for Goha, as they are the main antagonists, but fuck it, if this is what we get, I like it. She is so fucking funny when her gags really take off, and a lot of that is just the fact that they take full advantage of what she is. That she is a 37-year-old who looks like an 11-year-old. I love the way she constantly is having to pretend to be cute while in this is these fucking kids. I love that they do the joke that because she's old, she has an old 1980s suitcase phone thing. I love the cassette joke. And I love the bit where she's in a bar and has to have a sign on the back being I'm an adult. All of that is really funny, and it's just taking advantage of a one thing. Like with the world building, it's setting something up and using it fully to your advantage. And in this episode, she's a lot of fun. I love that, obviously it's pretty obvious that, when the robot butler servant comes in, it's just oh, the upper brass, and she's shh, not gonna be there. There was something weirdly funny about her being, on the toilet, having to tell them she's gone. It's not that she's behind the corner. It's that they go the extra mile to put her in a bathroom because they know it's funny. And I like that. Also, those two girls who will notice she's being weird as fuck and be we should call somebody. They deserve more screen time. So yeah, then we move on to everyone then proceeds to order food, eat. You know exactly where this is going. They think it's a real cheap discount, so Rook, being a glutton, orders a fuck ton of food. And then, of course, they can't afford it because the deal ended 6 seconds ago, and the price was 66 cents, and the bill is $666,000. Some large number. I don't know how to pronounce big numbers like that, but I think it's kind of funny that this is sevens. Good things happen when you crank it up to 7 in this bitch. Anyways, so then, of course, the gag from here. They have to pay off the bill, so they have to stick around and wash dishes, and then we get character development. That's stuff I like. Yeah, so Rook immediately tries to get out of it and put it all on Romin, because then once again he brings up that thing just to guilt her into doing it, just oh, well, you're a traitor, and then he runs off to go to the bathroom. And granted, yeah, obviously he was also trying to figure out a way to get themselves out of trouble, but what I kind of like about this is that it 100% feels like what a kid would do. Now, Rook understands that Romin is trying to do right by them. We saw that in the Curry episode. But what is sort of, I think, very indicative and realistic to someone like him is that he's still gonna milk this shit for all it's worth. Because that's Rook, and the show's not afraid to make him seem like a bit of a jackass at times, which I respect. So yeah, he basically just sets Romin up to take the dive for him while he tries to think of a better plan. In the meantime, as he's in the toilet for an exceedingly amount of time, Yugioh and crew end up having to wash dishes with a character who had so little thought put into his character design. He's wearing a mask the whole time so they don't have to pay for mouth movement. More on him in a little bit. But so yeah, then Romin, of course, naturally knocks over a huge thing of plates, and therefore there's, of course, only one way to deal with this: not pay for it, but duel. That being said, I do love the sort of acknowledgement of the nonsense of everything when Romin just assumes that, oh, you mean like pay with credit card? We're 11, we don't have credit cards. Yeah, I really believe the show treats Romin like she's 11. Anyways, so then Romin duels instead of Yugioh. It's always nice to see someone else get to do something and Romin be the focus. So yeah, so Romin then goes up against a crazy soap guy, and then we get something we haven't gotten in a long time, and that is, he's chetting. That's right, boys. He is chetting. He's mixing with cards, he's hacking his duels, he's doing whatever he is doing whatever it takes to chet Romin. The reason I like that he was chetting is because we actually, in a show where people do use evil stuff in card games, we don't really get a lot of chetting. Like, it was mostly people in, like, the original series trying to screw with Joey, and since then, it's just like, oh, I just naturally have every card I have in my hand all the time. But here we're just like, yeah, no, this is weird. I do like it was integrated into the character theme. Like, the gimmick to this guy is he's some sort of crazy, like, neat freak, so therefore, he's constantly cleaning, so that's how he sneaks in his cheats. It's at least a clever way to do it, which I appreciated. And then the duel happens, and it's fun. It's mostly based around the realization of him chetting, and what I liked about the realization, I love how funny it's treated. There's like, wait, you're cheating. I love the way the music would drop. I love the way everyone catches on. I love they didn't drag it out for 2 episodes like they would back in the original Yu-Gi-Oh! It's dealt with very quickly. And also, we get the return of Rook's lightning, static electricity thing where he makes electronics fuzzle out. And what I like is we haven't seen that gag in a long time, which meant when it showed up, I actually really enjoyed it. It wasn't one of those situations like a lot of shows where they beat every running gag into the ground. This show is perfectly okay with leaving a joke alone for several dozen episodes because it has a lot more stuff it would like to do and then coming back when that joke is opportune for it. And it was very funny. I really liked it. The other big thing is I love the character moment for both Legal Lolly Lady and Rook, and there's just no way around it. It's a great little scene. It is a good scene for her because she is humanized and reveal that she is still a person and can be turned good. And in Rook's case, it directly addresses the fact that, look, Romin is trying. And I like that in Romin's head, she still feels bad about what she put everyone through. She knows that it was not necessarily the right thing to do, and the show will not portray it as such. But also, it's not quite right of Rook to just keep punishing her for it and treating her like crap because of it. And that is what they are realizing. This is character development. These are actual moments that feel like they were happening to real people because these characters are written to be like they could be real people. You know, except for the parts where they can't be real people. But that's beyond the point. So yeah, so then Rook shows up, and they make up, and I like that the makeup scene is, because you obviously can't expect, it can't go as simple as, oh, I'm sorry, oh, okay. It's gotta be that Rook's ego takes over, wants Romin to look up to him, and she just freaks out like, fuck all of you! That is good. I love it, and I love angry red eye Romin. It's funny. So then, yeah, they beat Chetan guy, and they go off into a giant Goha door. At this point, I think Goha is just a joke. But yeah, they go in, and we end off with meeting some weird nerd dude who may or may not have a cat fetish. That end credit scene is clearly meant to be really weird. And that was this episode. It was fun. It was cute. I really enjoyed it. In case you couldn't tell, I really enjoy Sevens and its weird kooky nature and how it always puts character first. So yeah, that was Yu-Gi-Oh! Sevens for this week. Mostly fun and light, but I wanted to talk about it and have some fun doing it as well. So that's it for that. As for the TCG question of the week. So, Makia the Destructor was unbanned But the database has not yet updated with his errata, leading many people to think that they forgot to print the errata, and guess what? No one gives a shit, because no one's going to be using Makia the Destructor. So my question to you this week, again, they might have actually fixed the database already, I don't know, no one cares about Makia the Destructor. If you had to pick one card that was errated, that you think could honest to God go back to the way it was, and no one would give a shit, tell me in the comment sections below. However, we are excluding YGO Guardian, because no one knows why that got errated in the first place. So yeah, give me your thoughts on that below, and as always, click to like, click to subscribe, and join me next week. That preview really freaks me out.